There's only one right way for me. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am alcoholic. Today, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I cannot be any more grateful. We had a lot of fun this last weekend, Friday night crosstalk meeting, and then, of course, our Saturday session, 2-hour session on Saturday. It was incredible. The ladies really stepped up, and man, they hit a home run for sure. And everyone who came out and participated in these events, just want to say thank you. You guys truly kept me sober for one more night, a couple more nights actually. So thank you once again, Ashley, Chris, Deb, Nicole. You guys were phenomenal. So great job, and we're going to be relying upon you guys a lot more to help us out. I want to talk today about the right way to get clean and sober. We think that there's just one right way, and it's something that's ingrained in our conscious, I think, to where whenever we see somebody deviating, we tend to think that they're doing it the wrong way. And it's very easy for us to become judgmental and things like that. And that's one of the things that my program taught me, is how to stop being judgmental. Let me frame it like this. And I'm going to start within the context of religion anyway. And then maybe that'll, again, I'm not a religious person, but maybe that'll help paint the picture for you. You know, long ago, there was only one pathway to religious salvation. And that pathway was governed and managed through a king, through a pope, if you will. And somewhere along the line, somewhere throughout history, somebody stood up and said, hey, you know what? I believe with pretty much what you're saying, but I also believe this, and that. So I'm going to go off and practice this, and that. And next thing you know, we have a break. We have a different denomination of a church. And somewhere along the line, that guy's church, that guy's group, somebody stood up and said, hey, you know what? I believe what you're saying, but I also believe this, and that. I'm going to go start my own practice. And over the millennia, we've had all these different variations of religion anyway. And I don't want to get too specific here, because again, this is not about religion at all. But next thing you know, we're in the year 2025, and we have all these different religions that have popped up throughout the course of human history. And so it sometimes makes it hard for us to figure out which one is the right one. Do I believe this religion over here? Do I believe this religious doctrine over here? Which one is the right one? And I firmly believe my own interpretation, this is my own interpretation for the record, I believe we get caught up in religion rather than relationships with the Maker. And that's what my program of action, Alcoholics Anonymous, taught me to do. You could take that same model and the same concept and apply it to recovery. We tend to think that AA is the only way to recover, or NA is the only way to recover. And what happens is we start getting into this mindset that when somebody else doesn't do or practice AA the way that I practice it, well, it's easy for me to go, they're doing it wrong. When somebody doesn't practice NA the way that I might practice it, or you may practice it, it's easy for us to go, they're doing it wrong. And my question to you is, and to myself, how do I know they're doing it wrong? Because when I look back on my own personal history, I spent years trying to get sober on my own, trying so many different things to get sober. And every approach, every tactic that I took to try to get me sober failed miserably, I might add. So I remember, trying to give myself rules, saying, well, okay, I can't drink until it's after 8 o'clock. I got to make sure I'm not driving anywhere. I can only drink on socially drink in this environment and that environment. I gave myself all these rules. I tried, it didn't work. I tried religious approaches. They didn't work. I tried CR. It didn't work. I tried everything under the sun. It didn't work until I found the one way that did work. But that's the only way that worked for me. And that's when I started off this by saying, there's only one right way for me to recover. There's only one right way for you to recover. Who am I to sit there and look at somebody else and go, well, they're not practicing the principles like I interpret those principles to be applied. They're not practicing, so they're wrong. That's not none of my fucking business. Let's be real, right? It's not up to me to decide, to judge whether or not somebody is practicing their recovery the way that they should be. It's not up to me at all. My take on it is this, right off the bat, I need to be worried about myself about my own recovery rather than anybody else's. And if whatever works for them, if that's what's working, then great. I want to support them. Matter of fact, in the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous on page 95, Bill Wilson writes, if he thinks he can do the job in some other way or prefers some other spiritual approach, We encourage him to follow his own conscience. We have no monopoly on God. That being said, I'm out of time. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I could not be any more appreciative. We'll be talking again soon. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take a first drink.